I spoke with the bailiff recently. 2 bailiffs, to be exact. Not on camera, not in an interview, just a real off-the-record conversation. And the things he told me about what's happening in the industry right now, whoa, are they interesting. Honestly, most people in trucking have no idea how repossessions actually happen. If you're a driver, an owner-operator, or a small fleet owner, you need to hear this because it might save you tens of thousands of dollars one day. We'll start off with the biggest mistakes, but make sure you're here to the end of the video because if you're in a situation where the banks want to repossess your truck or you can't make payments, I'll be able to help you come out of it free and clear without even destroying your credit. So make sure you're here till the end. So let's get started. 90% of repossessions don't happen because someone can't pay. They actually happen because people stop communicating. The biggest mistake that he sees, one bailiff says, avoiding the lenders, not answering calls, ignoring the letters, pretending like this problem is going to disappear. He said that if the borrower just talked to the lender early, explained the situation, half of the repossessions would not happen. Number 2, hiding the truck. This is famous, especially here in the GTA. People move it to a yard, from one yard to another. I know this because I have multiple yards here in the GTA, especially in Brampton, and this happens a lot. This is not the best of ideas. He said once the lender escalates it, they will find it, and it becomes much more expensive and stressful. The third biggest mistake that people do to piss off the lenders is stripping parts before the repossession. This is by far the dumbest mistake. We'll get into the horror stories later, but he told me people forget the lender isn't stupid. They know exactly what the truck looked like before they financed it. They know how they gave you the truck, and they will find out if you take parts out, and we're gonna get into that soon. The second part of this video, we're gonna talk about the stories. So he gave me a couple of really crazy stories. I asked him, what's the wildest repossession story that you've seen? He said one guy, but again, it wasn't really a surprise to me, but one guy had a brand new Cascadia, financed it, stopped paying. Bailiff shows up, the entire truck is sitting on cinder blocks. No tires, no rims, not even lug nuts. He asked the driver what happened. The guy said, oh, those are my personal tires. And in a second story, a repossession shows up and the transmission is gone. Just gone. Driver says he swapped it for a better one, but the new one isn't there either. These things actually happen and the stories get a lot worse, especially here in the Greater Toronto area. Now, what do the lenders do when the parts are missing? And this part shocked me even more. The bailiff said, when we pick up a stripped unit, the lender doesn't just eat the cost, they come after you. Here's what happens. They do a conditional report. The lender compares it to the original financing photos. Every missing tire, every panel, every component is documented. They calculate the loss. If the truck should have been sold for $70,000 at the auction, but because the parts were missing, they sold for $45,000, now you owe them an additional $25,000. Now again, if you have good credit, yes, they're gonna come after you and destroy you, but if you have nothing to lose, you don't have a house, you're not worried about your credit, then really, they can't do much to you, but they will come after you for the difference. Now the borrower can deal with a lawsuit, the wage garnishment, they can destroy your credit profile, and sometimes a criminal investigation if the parts were sold. I don't see much of this, but I do see the lenders going after the borrower until they understand that there's really not much to go after. People think that stripping a truck saves them money. It actually multiplies their debts because the lender gets pissed off when you strip the truck. So the next topic that we talked about is what the bailiffs hate. Now this part really opened my eyes. The first thing is aggression or threats. He said every tough guy becomes polite when the tow truck hooks up. Number 2, they hate lies, saying that the truck is at the shop when it's really idling behind the house. Number 3, damaged units. When the truck is knowingly sabotaged, they document everything and the lender comes for you harder. So what do the bailiffs respect? Number 1, communication. Call the lender before they call me. They'll work with you. They respect honesty. You could tell the bailiff, listen, I'm behind. I'm trying. Here's my plan. Number 3, cooperation during the pickup, not fighting, not hiding the truck, and not stripping parts. He said, I've seen lenders reverse repossessions just because the borrower handled the situation professionally. Knowing me, I like to dig a little deeper, so I asked the bailiff, what are the most common parts that people take off their trucks? And he said the most common ones are, yes, the tires and the rims, followed by the ECMs that are swapped out, followed by the transmissions that are removed. Then comes the DPF filters are missing, expensive batteries are swapped out for dead ones, even seats that are swapped out for ripped ones. Then you have the fairings and mirrors missing. One time they picked up a truck where the entire fifth wheel was removed. The lender had financed a $120,000 truck and they got back what was worth $55,000. The deficiency was over $60,000 and the borrower was still legally responsible. He told me the lenders always win at the end. Now, what does it mean by win? So usually in a repossession, I would hope that people are smart enough that they're not homeowners, because if you are a homeowner, yes, they're gonna come after your home. If you have any other assets on your name, yes, they're going to come after those assets. Now, if you don't have assets and if you're not a homeowner, and honestly, you could just negotiate a surrender. Now, when I told you at the beginning of the video that I'd be able to help you out, so what I've done for a couple of companies, I've negotiated on their behalf. And in most cases, when you talk to the lenders, you are able to get a full and final release from the lenders with willingly surrendering your assets. How does this work? You go back and forth with the lender. You tell them, listen, I'll give you the truck in really good shape, the way that it is. I ain't gonna do any funny business. All I want is in writing that you're not gonna come after me for the difference. And in a lot of the cases, even with dealing with big banks, so I have experience dealing with RBC, with TD, and with Scotia, and all three I was able to get for the clients a full and final release from these banks. Now, after speaking with the bailiff, the truth is repos don't have to be dramatic. They don't have to ruin you. You can negotiate good terms. You just need communication. Most issues can be resolved before it even reaches the bailiff. Call the lender early, talk to them about your situation, and negotiate a payment plan. Now, if you know you cannot make the payments, then start pushing towards a surrender, willingly surrendering the equipment in good shape, and get a full and final release from them. Never strip parts. It's only going to get you in trouble. Now, he did want me to say that people need to understand that this is just his job. And he's not in it because he doesn't like you. He's not in it because he wants to repossess your truck, or somehow he's, emotionally attached to the whole transaction. He's hired by the banks, and that is what their job is, to repo your truck. So hopefully you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment. Feel free to send me a question directly on the social media platforms. I'm Ronan, and I'll catch you in my next video.